What if Honkai impact Dimensional Herrschers Chat room? He was reincarnated into a world teeming with dangers and tragedies as an ordinary person. Clearly, Adam seemed destined to live the life of cannon fodder, doomed to perish at the slightest hint of danger. Until, welcome to the Dimensional Chat room. His only hope arrived in the form of the chat room, a mysterious connection linking him with individuals from various dimensions and universes. Some were familiar faces, others were completely unknown. It wasn't the most powerful cheat he could have wished for, but he had to make do with what he got. At least now Adam had a chance to grow stronger and protect himself from the threats in this perilous world. And maybe, just maybe, he could venture beyond his own world and explore the vast Omniverse. Tags: chat room, gray MC, harem, mature, multiverse, op MC, world hopping. Worlds: Honkai Impact 3 RD main. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, so I'm a spider. So what? High school DxD, Konosuba, Marvel, Doki Doki Literature Club, Madoka Magica. Chapter 1. The long-awaited cheat has arrived, but it's not actually powerful. Today was a beautiful day. The sky was clear. The sun was shining in the horizon. In a city like Nagazora, there was a school that seemed more prestigious than others. It was Chiba Academy, which was previously an all-girls school, but that has changed recently. Most students were minding their own business, walking around, hanging out with their friends, maybe flirting with the opposite or the same gender, except a single handsome teenager that was sitting on a bench in a park near the academy. This teenager had long blonde hair that reached his shoulders, light blue eyes that were lost in thought, and he was wearing headphones that seemed to dishearten a lot of girls from approaching him. This teenager was naturally our main character, Adam. So it is starting. The teenager muttered, "This city will face destruction and I can't do anything about it." Adam continued, talking to himself in melancholy. Yes, that's right, Adam was a reincarnated person, one not belonging to this world. When he was first born in this world, he was ecstatic. Who wouldn't be? He has fantasized countless times about reincarnating in another world, becoming powerful, solving all the tragedies, and getting a harem full of beautiful girls in the process. He didn't really care about what put him in this world. Maybe it was an accident, or maybe it was some scheme of a powerful being. But reality is often disappointing. Not only was he born in a world which is hostile to men and in which tragedies are common, but he was also born as an ordinary orphan without any cheats. He tried, he really tried, he ate the most optimal diet to keep himself healthy. He trained his body to the limit, and he also learned whatever martial arts he could, but it's useless. But what could an ordinary human, a man without any Honkai adaptability no less, do about Herrschers, beings who could casually destroy cities? Don't get him wrong, he cared about the city, he really did. He spent almost half of his current life here after all, but death has brought him perspective. He didn't want to experience death again, so he wouldn't risk his life to save a city full of people he didn't know. Sure, he could kill Raiden Mei, but would that really solve the problem? A new Herrschers would be born, and the same thing would happen all over again. Besides, did Raiden Mei really deserve death? He didn't think so. That girl was too gentle for her own good, not to mention she was an innocent victim. He might sound like a hypocrite, but he cared more about Raiden Mei than some random people, even though he only knew her from the game and the game's plot. As for leaving Nagazora City, what then? Sure, he could live a normal life, or maybe join Schicksal and Anti-Entropy to work in logistics, but would such a life really be fulfilling? Not to mention that bastard Otto or that stupid woman Cocolia with their schemes. The only thing he could do in his situation is to befriend Raiden Mei, get away from the city before she awakens as the third Herrschers, and then go work at St. Freya Academy. He would be a normal person, but he would be fulfilled with the only thing going for him being his friendship with the main characters. That's why he was sitting on a bench close to Chiba Academy. There would soon start a new semester, and he would attend there as a transfer student. It would be quite easy. He had gone to school once already in his previous life, so it wouldn't be too difficult to be admitted to this school and befriend Raiden Mei. There was also the fact that men were rare nowadays, although it doesn't surprise him as humans were adaptable creatures and Honkai is quite unfriendly to men, with exceptions that could be counted in one hand. Not that he was sure of the reasoning, but this theory was the most probable. More so than the heroes of the previous era cursing the next generation with an all-female populace so they could defeat the Honkai. Well, that guy Kevin would definitely do that if it meant humans had a higher chance of defeating Honkai. But such thing wasn't mentioned in the story of the game, so Adam doesn't think so. Ding! A notification sound interrupted his thoughts. Welcome to the Dimensional Chat room. Do you wish to activate the chat room and become the admin? Adam's eyes widened when he saw that and his mouth went slightly agape. Has my cheat finally arrived? Adam couldn't help but think so, but why would it take so long? His face conformed into a frown as he became thoughtful. It was suspicious. "Hello there, my name is Adam, just Adam." Adam lowered his voice so as not to make others think of himself as a madman. "As a chat group, you should be able to invite people to bond and help each other, right?" Adam said, but the screen didn't change. "Do you think I will believe such a thing?" Adam said as his blue eyes sharpened. "There's nothing free in this world, and if there is, it would probably be a favor that will be repaid later," Adam said as the screen finally flickered. "So because of some unknown situation, you became desperate and stuck with me. So pay me beforehand or you'll be stuck like this forever," Adam said with an edge in his voice as some people started to notice his weird actions, but he couldn't be bothered to care. Adam gambled a bit in this situation. If this system doesn't actually need him, then he is quite done for. But it was natural that he would be vigilant. What is life without risks? Humans progress because they are willing to take risks and learn from their failures, Adam thought before a new screen appeared before him. A new gift pack has been created for the admin and it can be received after activation. Adam smiled seeing as his gamble paid off. And while he didn't want to admit it, he was quite nervous. "I shouldn't ask for more. Being overly greedy will lead to my destruction," Adam said while looking at the screen. He actually wants to ask who created this chat room, why it was created, and why it chose him of all people. But he feels that he will never find out even if he asks nicely. Taking a deep breath, Adam mentally chose yes as a new screen flashed in his vision. The screen looked similar to any other chat group with the typing bar for messages and the friends list to the side. Without bothering to look at the screen, his gaze immediately shifted towards the gift icon in upper right of his vision. The instant he cast his gaze on it, the gift icon enlarged and some messages were suddenly shown in front of him. Choose an ability or item that is compatible with this world and its rules. As it is the first time for the admin to receive a gift, the category of the ability or the item that will be received can be chosen. The more he read the text, the more Adam's face frowned. While this is a good gift, it is only limited to this world's standards and this world's rules and laws. Choosing a Herrschers core might be a good choice, but he might catch the attention of Schicksal, Anti-Entropy, or worse, the World Serpent. Maybe choosing a Stigmata? Only the Kaslana and Skariak Stigmata are good, but wait. Adam suddenly realized something. The source of the power of the Kaslana family. A category. The admin chooses category Honkai Beast Gene. The gift has been sent out, please open it. It actually worked, Adam muttered in amazement. And while he was excited, he calmed himself down and decided that it would be best to go to his dorm to open the gift and to explore this chat room more in depth at his convenience. After all, he didn't know the effects of opening this thing. It might have some adverse effects that he didn't know. And integrating with the gene out in the open might get the attention of people he couldn't afford to fight. And so, with a sigh, he stood up from his bench and went towards the direction where his dorm was located. Chapter 2: The Price for Power. Having returned to his dormitory, Adam was currently sitting in his room. Unexpectedly, despite how bland it was due to his little to no possessions, his dormitory was quite luxurious and comfortable. There was also the fact that he had a lot of privacy as he was the only male living there. But Adam didn't really care. Nagazora City, his dormitory included, will all be destroyed in half a year, so he didn't bother to care with about these things of no consequence. So, taking a deep breath, Adam mentally commanded the chat group to give him his gift. The admin has received Judgment Level Ability Gene Vishnu. Hell YEEESSS, Adam exclaimed happily while standing up excitedly. Yes, yes, yes. Adam continued screaming in happiness, not caring about anyone who might have heard him. Of course, Adam was excited. The Honkai Beast Gene of Vishnu was possibly the most overpowered and yet dangerous gene to intergrade. Its ability was devouring and evolution. It could devour other Honkai beasts, get their abilities, and evolve continuously. Although Cosma, who had fused with this gene, wasn't the strongest because he was limiting himself and wasn't eating other Emperor-level Honkai beast, even with that, he was still in the upper echelon of strength in the Flame Chasers. In short, it was overpowered. He calmed himself down. I'm so damn luck AACK. Adam couldn't finish his thoughts as an assault of pain overwhelmed his senses. Pain. His mind blanked out from what he was feeling. It was as if 1,000 needles were piercing into his body, destroying his DNA and overwriting with something else, something powerful that no human could hope to match up. His body was breaking down, being rebuilt with something else that doesn't belong to the human race. He wondered, is this what every mantis went through? No, they certainly had it worse as they did it with technology. No wonder the chances of survival were so small. At this point, Adam wanted it to stop. He wanted to give up. He wanted to die rather than feel this intense pain. But Adam gritted his teeth and clenched his fists as he tried enduring the intense pain he was feeling. No power was free. It always came at a cost. This was something Adam knew. as even his reincarnation to this world caused him to abandon his previous world in the form of death. But try as he might, even with all his efforts, he still couldn't help but pass out from the intense pain. Adam, I found myself slowly awakening my consciousness. As clarity returned to me, I couldn't help but notice that I was different. My body was more powerful than before, and I could feel my mind processing things faster, and although the difference wasn't large, it was still quite noticeable. With similar thoughts running through my head, I stood and started making my way to a mirror to see my current appearance. And wow! What greeted me was a handsome young man of glowing blue eyes, sword-like eyebrows, blonde hair mixed with a small amount of silver strands here and there, and a body that was filled with powerful-looking muscles that was neither too skinny nor too buff. My face in the mirror showed a weird expression as I looked at the silver strands that were along with my blonde hair. I wonder if the gene did something more than make me more powerful and handsome? Even so, although I know becoming a mantis takes your looks to supernatural levels, I am still amazed by this change, even though I know this isn't my limit. As much as I hate to admit it, I wouldn't survive being injected with the full power of a judgment-level Honkai beast, courtesy of my zero Honkai adaptability. So the gift didn't actually change my physiology to a half-human, half-Honkai beast. I can instinctively feel that it just gave me its signature ability to devour Honkai beasts, and slightly changed my genome so I won't die of Honkai corruption. If I want to become stronger, I need to do what Vishnu does best, devour Honkai beasts. This will not only increase my base power, but it also allow me to obtain numerous power of different Honkai beasts. If one thing I am grateful for, it is the absence of ravings. I don't have any urge to give in to become a monster and destroy everything around me. Maybe the chat room has something to do with it. Speaking of the chat room, I need to fulfill my promise with it. But first, I picked up my phone and willed the chat room to do what I imagined. Do you wish to connect the chat room to this device? Good, now I can access the chat room when people are present without looking like a madman. Do you want to send out invitations to possible group members? I looked at my nickname at the chat room and blackmail admin. I really wanted to curse at the chat room, but I managed to calm myself down and settle for the option to change my nickname. Nickname has been changed to Devourer. I think this is definitely an apt name, if plain, considering my special ability to devour and take away the strength of other Emperor and above-tier Honkai beasts. After settling with the nickname, I looked at the upper left corner of the chat room. 0 points. Point are the main currency of the chat room. Using points, the members can buy items from the chat room or upgrade their own abilities. As for the store itself, it was completely empty except 2 items. Compatibility. Compatibility with all worlds cost 10, may vary. World travel card. Travel to any of the chat room members' world cost 100. All tongue. Understand and use any mundane language cost 50. My lips twitched at the cost of the world travel card. It was worth it though. Traveling to another world can benefit me in a lot of unexpected ways, and if you include the compatibility ability into the equation, I should be able to use different energy systems. Now the problem is that I don't know how to get these points. Of course, it is cliché in fan fictions that such chat rooms will have missions to let the members get points, but that is dangerous without sufficient power. Daily check-in. 10 points. It seems that I can get points by entering the chat room every day, similarly to a login system. The limit is 10 points. Am I actually so lucky to get 10? Well, I could indeed be considered lucky to reincarnate to the world of Honkai Impact. If you ignore the simp Honkai who is sexist to men, that is. Compatibility ability has been purchased. Without devouring Honkai beasts, I'm still quite weak compared to a Herrschers. So my only hope is to travel to the world of another group member and get more powerful. Ha! Couldn't it have been a normal system? I murmured out loud. Although this chat room has a lot of potential, allowing me to travel to other worlds and get power from there. A normal system would be more useful in the short term. Not that I'm complaining though. This chat room is better than nothing. Speaking of it, it's time to send invitations. Invitations have been sent. I laid down in my bed and closed my eyes after the confirmation. To be honest, today has been really tiring. With all the information I received and the pain I endured made me tired mentally, so I better be well rested before meeting the new members. The members could range from weak to strong, from villains to heroes, but what is sure is that I'm walking into an unknown battlefield, one that is currently beyond my abilities. Maybe the members will be friendly, or maybe they won't and they will be asses douchebags. I don't want to pollute my mind with these pessimistic thoughts, so while they are necessary to have for my survival, my rest is more important. After all, I have school soon, and while I do want to have the classic Japanese high school experience, it won't make me forget the disaster that will happen soon. So with similar thoughts running through my head, my consciousness gradually slipped to the embrace of darkness. Chapter 3. The Members. Third person. After a short nap, Adam woke up. And after confirming that yesterday wasn't a dream, he immediately opened up the chat room before being bombarded by a lot of notification. Sentient game character has joined the chat room. I'm a slime, so what? Has joined the chat room. Exhibitionist has joined the chat room. Advocate of gender equality has joined the chat room. Schizophrenic spider has entered the chat room. The chat was silent for an hour. Advocate of gender equality, is this some sort of scam? Where's my promised content? Until someone decided to interrupt this serenity. Advocate of gender equality, I can't even delete it. RIP my PC. Advocate of gender equality. And what the hell is with this nickname? Adam only saw this guy complaining by himself for 5 minutes. Exhibitionist, what's this? Is this some sort of sacred gear? Advocate of gender equality, sacred gear? Are you a Chinibyo? Exhibitionist, what do you mean? Aren't you a supernatural race? Advocate of gender equality, of course not. Do you watch too much anime? These two continued arguing about the supernatural races for 5 straight minutes. Sentient game character, eh? Is this an update from the developers? Did they finally decide to update this game after so many years? Adam looked at the person's words with narrowed eyes while wondering if she were actually a game character who was aware that they were in a game. Wait, Adam just remembered that Honkai Impact 3rd was also a game. And he is also in that game right now. Didn't that mean that he was also a game character? Schizophrenic spider, has my golden finger finally arrived? Will this make me op and get me out of this hellish dungeon? Before Adam could continue his existential crisis, the message of another member interrupted his thoughts. Sentient game character. Oh, are you trapped too? I'm a slime, so what? Guys, I've been trapped in this dark cave for a while, can you help me? Advocate of gender equality, did I just enter a group full of Chinibyos? Exhibitionist, although it sounds like a Chinibyo with those nicknames. But maybe they are yokai? I have heard my brother say that yokai are often mischievous. With this, Adam finally finished reading all the notifications. Sacred gear, supernatural, and exhibitionist. It's most likely Rias Gremory from High School DxD, Adam muttered and looked at the next person. Advocate of gender equality, I feel like I have heard of it before. Adam put his chin before looking at the next 2 members. The definitely not bad slime Rimuru and our resident spider who has just been ice-skate not long ago. While looking at the last member, Adam frowned, sentient game character, and this tone. Adam could feel that it was at the tip of his tongue, but in the end he couldn't guess who it was, so he just gave up. The last 2 are okay, but the first 3 are the problem. The world of Tensura and DxD are very dangerous. From their reactions, it looks like this chat room actually scammed them. Adam couldn't help but mutter, dumbfounded at the wickedness of the chat room. Advocate of gender equality, all right. If I can't delete this chat room, then I'll at least change my nickname. Exhibitionist, I will do the same. Adam looked at the 2 people having a conversation about changing their nicknames. His eyes slid off and glanced at something. Admin options. Devourer admin has disabled nickname changes. Advocate of gender equality. There's an admin? Exhibitionist, are you responsible for this? And you called me an exhibitionist? Sentient game character. Are you the admin? Are you a developer? Adam looked at all the messages calmly while thinking about the words that he should use. Devourer, I have about the same knowledge as you. So don't go throwing random questions at me. Devourer, as for the authenticity of this chat room, go to the options and select portable mode. The chat was silent for a while after his reply. Advocate of gender equality, okay, I'm out. I have better things to do than listen to bullshit. I'll fix my PC later. Exhibitionist, is that so? Is this one like those things in anime? Can it help me with canceling my engagement? Sentient game character, huh? Does this chat room connect to people from the real world? Looking at these 2 questions, Adam normally wouldn't bother to answer them. But he needed to become friends with the members of the chat room regardless of who they were. Devourer, this chat room can indirectly help you. As for your engagement, you can only cancel it with your own strength, Rias. Devourer, as for your question, sentient game character, it is complicated. I don't know you, so I can't really know about your situation. Exhibitionist, eh? How do you know my name? Sentient game character. My name is Monica. Devourer, just Monica? Adam's eyes couldn't help but widen at the last message, a self-aware game character, the specific spelling of this name, it is Monica. Adam only knew a character like this one from DDLC, a horror game disguised as a dating game. Well, that world was artificial and the only danger there was Monica herself with her administrator authority. But outside of that, Monica is a normal human with above-average coding skills. Sentient game character, what is your name? Devourer, you can call me MC. Sentient game character, ehehehe. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will call you main character from now on if you want. Monica, that was currently sitting on a chair on her space classroom, looked at the Devourer's message with sparkling eyes and a huge smile on her pretty face. Hee. This chat room has already changed this boring place. As for Devourer HM, I wish I could meet him, Monica continued as she looked at the chat room again. Exhibitionist, HY. Don't ignore me. Devourer, what is it, princess? Exhibitionist, TCH. Please don't call me that. Exhibitionist, and what faction are you from? I want to meet and negotiate with you about my nickname. Devourer, well, too bad, princess. We are separated with a distance uncountable by numbers. Exhibitionist, eh? What do you mean? Adam didn't waste time explaining. He just sent some pictures of Nagazora City and its more futuristic places. Devourer, Nagazora City. Exhibitionist. What's this place? Rias was currently sitting on her desk at her occult research club, looking at the picture of Nagazora City. I have never seen a city like this. Is it a hidden futuristic city of a pantheon? Rias pondered and looked at the chat room again. Devourer, while your world is modern, it isn't as technologically advanced as my world. Exhibitionist, your world? Devourer, you've heard of the dimensional gap, yes? Well, this one is beyond that. A world completely different than yours. Rias didn't reply for a while. Exhibitionist, I see. Devourer, you're not gonna question it? Exhibitionist, well, I've seen a lot of anime. Although I'm a little surprised, I'm actually more excited at the chance of different worlds. Adam, that was lying on the bed, stood up and sat at the side while chuckling, hey, what an otaku. Exhibitionist. But how do you know my name? Devourer, I've been lucky to have the chance of knowing some future events. Exhibitionist, ah? Do you know if I managed to cancel my marriage with that douche? Devourer, would you believe me if I said that you were saved by a pervert who wanted to be the only one to touch your boobs? What? Rias, that was previously calmly sitting, was now standing up with a blushing face with both her hands slapped at the table. Exhibitionist, are you telling the truth? Devourer, I have no reason to lie. Devourer, so you better pick up your lazy ass and train to get stronger. Goodbye for now. Exhibitionist, wait. Adam closed the chat room and went on with his day. He didn't have time to play questions and answers with Rias. He had to prepare for school tomorrow after all. It also helped that this made him more mysterious than he actually was. He has to admit it's cool being the only one who knows so much about this situation. Chapter 4. A thoughtful first day at school. Adam was currently walking in a corridor that was crowded with girls, and while Adam wasn't the only boy in the crowd, he certainly attracted the most attention because of his handsome appearance and his unique temperament. He didn't bother to open his chat room after yesterday. He focused on preparing his mentality and the necessary materials for school. That is why he was currently walking through the rather corridor of Chiba Academy. He was going to his class, yes. Although it was a given, he was still amazed by the grandness of this school. Although maybe he was biased because the school he went in his previous life was shit. No, really, he wasn't exaggerating. His school didn't even have a proper cafeteria. It wasn't that he was poor or that he couldn't afford to attend a better quality school, but it was just the only high school in his immediate area. And he didn't want to move to another town or city as that was too troublesome. Of course, that changed when he went to college. The town that he lived in didn't even have a college, so he was forced to move. Shaking his head and throwing out those useless thoughts, he noticed that he has reached his destination, and the teacher has already started telling the students about the new transfer student. Troublesome, a whisper left Adam's mouth as he braced himself for his upcoming introduction. We have a new transfer student today. The beautiful teacher spoke out. The class went silent at that, until, will it be a boy? A girl spoke out that seemed to snap out the others out of their daze. I hope it will be a handsome boy. I hope he is single. Does he have a girl? Silence. The beautiful teacher spoke out with authoritative tone. You can come in now, the teacher continued as she turned towards the door. The door opened and revealed a handsome guy who had glowing blue eyes and blonde hair with silver locks that reached down his shoulders. The class went quiet, withholding their breath. I introduce yourself. The teacher was clearly affected too, but she composed herself rather quickly. The transfer student spoke out. My name is Adam, and I'm from Siberia. Adam paused. Please take care of me. He finished with a bow and a charming smile. Kaya, so handsome. The girl's teenage hormones squealed in excitement. One girl even had stars in her eyes. But before it could continue and get worse, the teacher intervened. Adam-san, pick your seat. Adam's glowing blue eyes instantly fell on one girl that was sitting at the back of the class. When he saw her, He immediately started walking towards her. "Excuse me," Adam said to the girl, "may I sit here?" He continued. The girl was a classical Yamato Nadeshiko, with purplish-black reaching her waist, and indigo eyes that excluded a gentle light. "Ah!" The girl looked at him. "Of course," she replied with a smile. "Nice to meet you, Adam-san. I'm Raiden-Mei." The now-named Raiden-Mei gently smiled at Adam and gave him her hand in greeting, obviously having heard his introduction. Adam looked at Mei with an indescribable emotion in his glowing blue eye. Meeting another character in real life makes him feel somewhat emotional. And the fact that he knows what will happen to this girl in the future makes it somewhat harder for him to interact with her normally. "Nice to meet you, Mei-san." Adam smiled at her and returned her gesture, trying not to express his inner thoughts on the outside. "Adam, class is boring. I thought I would enjoy living through the average Japanese high school experience that is typically portrayed in anime, but this is just straight up boring. I had a life's worth of knowledge to work with, and in conjunction with my slightly upgraded mind, this is a piece of cake. At least there is a silver lining. Do you want to have lunch with us, Adam-kun?" The soothing voice of the future Herrscher of Thunder reached my ears. This isn't anything surprising. She is a gentle girl who would befriend anyone and everyone if she could. I warmly smiled at her, my eyes looking at her with a complicated look as I replied, "I'm sorry, Mei-san, but I'm not quite used to having lunch with so many people of the opposite gender. I also want to explore the school as it is my first day, so I will have to refuse this time." "I see, I understand. You are welcome to join us anytime you want." She was slightly disappointed by my rejection, but she didn't hold anything against me. She is quite understanding in that regard. So after rejecting her, I walked up to the roof of the school. A place which I can find silence and peace. It's a place that I can access the chat room without any disturbances after all. So after eating lunch, I opened my phone and checked the chat room. Schizophrenia Spider. Anyone there? Devourer. I'm here. Schizophrenic Spider. So I get this is a chat room, but what else can it do except let us chat? Devourer. I don't know. It may have a goal, but that doesn't concern us currently. For now, I recommend everyone to buy the compatibility ability from the chat room. Sentient game character, already bought it. I raised an eyebrow at that, but otherwise it didn't surprise me that Monica could quickly get acquainted with the functions of the chat room. She was quite intelligent, and the only thing besides the chat room that she is going on for her is her empty space classroom. Devourer. You can get points from the login option. Devourer. Now though, the chat room is a large unknown. It may also send us on dangerous missions. So it's best to prepare ourselves and get to know each other. Sentient game character. As you already know, I'm Monica. Nice to meet you. Exhibitionist. Very well. I see your point. My name Rias Gremory. Schizophrenic Spider. Well, why you can call me Komoko. I couldn't help but inwardly chuckle at the cute spider's shyness. I'm a slime, so what, eh? Well, I had a name, but now that I'm a slime, I don't have one. Devourer. It's okay, little slime. You will soon get a name. I'm a slime, so what? Really? How do you know? I looked at the slime's question and wondered what was the best way of answering that question. Although it wouldn't matter if I said it, I need to think about my own strength first. The only thing that I can currently do is exercise my current body to its full potential, and although it won't be as effective as eating Honkai beasts, exercising will still provide a huge boost as my now Honkai adaptable body has more potential than a human body. Although, I brought up my right hand in front of my face and clenched it into a fist. A warm current flowed into my body. It roughly gathered into the place of my hand. This is Honkai energy. It is quite addictive and it can be quite corruptible. Still though, the normally unresponsive, corruptive, and unmoving Honkai energy was in my control. I'm not a Herrscher, I'm just a mantis, no, not even a proper one, and yet Honkai is obeying my command with a little effort and difficulty. Is this how Sirin felt? Maybe that's why she is such a disappointment of a Herrscher who only knows how to throw a subspace lance and create portals here and there. Although she looks like a goddess to normal humans, I have perspective and I stopped being a normal human yesterday, so I know for a fact that she has just touched the tip of the iceberg of the true power of the Herrscher of the Void. But I won't make this mistake. It is too wasteful not to train my body and my Honkai manipulation. After all, even the half-awakened Herrscher Mei can kill me if she really wants to. If she wasn't held back by the will of Mei and she went full murderous crazy Herrscher, she would also be able to kill Kiana at that point in time. So I need to get stronger, but first, Devourer. There is a simple explanation for that. Devourer. I just do. Telling them that they are an anime in another world is just straight up idiotic, especially now that we have just started knowing each other and we don't have trust. Of course, I will tell them about it eventually. But now isn't the time, as I would prefer to gradually reveal it to them. Sentient game character. Oh? Devourer, do you know about them because their case is the same as mine? Looking at the message of Monica, I couldn't help but be amazed at how fast she reached the right conclusion. Devourer, indeed. It's just in a different form that is less interactive. I chose to close the chat room at this point. Even if I can theoretically send messages a lot faster, time still passes normally, so it wouldn't do me any good to ignore my real life. Ding. The bells ringing reverberated throughout the school, which signaled that lunchtime has ended, so I got ready and walked to my class.